Hello there gamers, and welcome back to another LineMonsterFarm video. Today we're going to be going through our initial starting items. So these are the items that you can take with you when you go to train your monster. You get a choice of up to 2. We're going to go through those right now for you. A heads up, I've translated this so that I understand it. It's not going to be right word for word. This is just how my brain wraps around it, and I'll be explaining that as we go through. Starting with the Awakening Fruit. Now this, I believe, happens at the end of Prime and gives your monster plus 30 to every stat. It also has a chance to give them one of 2 talents, one being the Star Popularity, which increases your fame gain from all sources by, I believe, 1. Or you get the Talent buff, which reduces the cost of abilities by 5%. Both of these are pretty huge. You also get an alternate colour scheme. I have too good to use syndrome for this. It's one of these things where I look at it and I go, oh my god, I don't want to use this. But for people that are after maybe C+ rank, I know that's a big wall for a lot of people, this could be very useful. Or if you've just got a monster that you're particularly fond of and you want to see how cool it looks, that is also another thing that you can do with it. All in all, good item, very hard to get a hold of, so use sparingly. Following on from that, we kind of have a pair of items here. We have the book and the hourglasses. So you've got the book here that I have none of, and the eyeglass thing as well. These are both used for Dr. Momentai. Directly above me there will be a link to explaining the young doctor and her pesky event. So you can go and have a gander at that afterwards if you so desire the need to. But these 2 items I feel are best used together. Just down to the fact that one without the other could backfire. It's all well and good using the eyeglass, but if she doesn't turn up then it's a waste. It's all good using the book, but if it fails it's a kick in the teeth. So it feels kind of like a pair of items that were meant to go together, really. And with some of the buffs that you can get from these items, anywhere from plus 20 stats and good at training, which reduces your chance of failing training, anywhere to plus 5 life. I mean, to be fair, for plus 5 life you don't need this, you don't need the eyeglasses, but they're things to keep in mind. They're, I wouldn't say it's the best set of items, but they have their utility. And then next we go on to our little headband here. So this gives the Event Maker talent. This increases the rate at which events happen at your stable, as it's referred to, ranch as most people would call it for ourselves. So this increases the instance of just random occurrences happening. That doesn't sound useful, but random occurrences in this game are very helpful. It's very rare that a random occurrence is bad. So I actually think this is one of the better items. Kind of gets a bit massively overlooked, probably down to just it's random, and that's part of the issue. But I find this one quite nice. And then we get on to our next. So we've got the little newspaper article here, which gives the good at training talent. This is going to cause a little bit of confusion in a moment, but we'll get on to that. And this reduces the chance of failing drills. So these are your standard, all 5 monsters in this area, they're all doing power. This reduces the chance of that failing, which is quite nice, quite helpful, especially if you're trying to push your monster to the limit. And then next we have the good at training talent. Now, funnily enough, I made this mistake myself and thought that these worked in a different fashion. Fortunately, I have since been corrected and the misunderstanding has been explained, which is they both can translate to good at training, but this refers to what we in the English versions were errantry. So this reduces your errantry fatigue consumption. So being more literal, courtesy of a wonderful laundryman, you would be referring to the first item as good at training, and then this second item here would be more like good at a pilgrimage. That's kind of how they go on with regards to errantry. It's a translation difference that I can't pretend that I know about, but that's why I put my foot in it, and that's why we're going over that now. So this is reduced errantry fatigue, so it'll take slightly less of your stamina bar. Honestly, at max you're going to be doing 8 errantries. Is it 8? And that's if you get up to legend rank. I don't think much of this. I also don't think much of this. This gives you the star quality talent, so this increases your fame rewards. Now this isn't just from tourneys. There are assist cards that give you fame buffs. They increase those as well. I have witnessed this. You even have assist events, so the tournament announcer can talk to you and give you some fame, and that also increases with this. I do 8 million tournaments a run, so I don't ever find this a concept that might be useful, but I could see why. You know, if you're not running tournament heavy, you're focusing more on training, it could be useful for that. You get your fame purely through cards, maybe. That will, of course, expedite this. This will make sure that you need to get less of those card-based rewards. Maybe take less star prunes, this, that, or the other. So it's got its uses. I don't really use it, but that's just me. I'm also very confident when it comes to the tournaments, so it's one of those, you know. I spent far too much time playing tournaments in MonsterRancher as a child, so these I'm like, oh yes, get me into a fight. But anyway, I digress. And next we go on to the bag of, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's peaches. It might be a bag of peaches actually, but this gives it its maximum fatigue bar. Pretty simple. A thing to note with this is things that heal based on percentages, like the feast reward from a battle, the tablets reward from a battle, star prune reward from a battle, outer cake from a battle. They are percentage increases, which means that when they heal when you have a max health bar, they heal for more. It's not much more, but it is a difference, and throughout the space of a run, unlike this, you know, you may be getting 9 errantries out of it and you're saving a little bit of stamina, whereas this, you're getting the maximum stamina in the first place, and then resting is better as well. Sleeping, play is better because of this, so there's a lot more utility to this than there is this. And you are likely to do more than 8 tournaments in a run, personally speaking. Even if you just did the 3 ending IMAs, the final 3 IMAs, the last one, okay, let's say that one doesn't matter. That's 5 tournaments that generally you are going to do every run. So it's already to a point where it could pay more dividends than this. The next one we have is a bit of a weird one. It's this flower that gives you the winning soul talent, which increases the teaching compatibility by 1 rank. Yeah, this looks like it refers to combining. Combining is an experience. Secrets are an experience. This one is definitely the most obtuse of all the starting items. And honestly, I don't think anybody's bothered about using it. I can completely understand why. Unless we get more information that suddenly this thing is cracked, I wouldn't even use it on nothing. The only reason I have done is because I wanted to get the information for this. Next we come to the funny drink. This one's simple. Funny drink is simple. Full fatigue heal. That's it. Full health bar. Doesn't extend the health bar, but it's full heal. It's great for prime. You give it to the monster, suddenly you've gone from no bar to full bar. You're laughing. Training all the way through prime. Hopefully get a cheeky birthday in there for some extra fatigue recovery. That one's quite simple there. And then this one was a bit of a pain. The Smellingsalts style item. So originally, I mean, look, it's not got much better, but originally we thought this was just plus 20 to stamina. That's bad. Like, why? Why would you use that? You wouldn't. But after a lot of faff, I spent the best part of 2 years trying to get a monster with a major injury whilst having this item in order to test whether it got rid of major injuries. It does. And small injuries. I'm going to be honest, the utility still isn't much better. You don't get much more out of this, but it is at least some additional utility. The next we have is the bundle of nut soils and a mint leaf. The mint leaf didn't seem to do anything. Didn't want to tell me what it had done. Didn't extend the health bar. It was a big fat misnomer. 2 Big's nut soil, on the other hand, I know exactly what that does, and that's 30 stamina each time. So yes, it's less stamina overall than our funny drink here, because that refills your bar to full, and it's only half a bar if you've used the big drinks, because this is not a percentage heal, so it will still only be 60 regardless of the size of your percentage bar. But it is in 2 chunks, so if you are sitting there going, "Ooh, that's 5 units in one area. I could use a heal here to ensure that I could do that." You don't want to use your full prime drink on that. You'd use a nut soil. So it has a bit more utility, but a bit less power than the main drink. And you'll be looking at this and you'll go, "Oh, but Gubbins, you've missed one." I have. Because they always say save the best till last, which also gives away what I think the best item here is, and it's the most basic. What a surprise. It's 20 loyalty, and to give some context, we're actually going to go into a run. Oh, 20 loyalty, you sit there and you go, "Oh, that's not much." And it might not seem like it. Ping. But that is a lot with regards to your monster's rating. Fame and loyalty are very big on rating. It's more of a... oh god, what's the... exponential increase. So once your rating is better and your stats are higher, you get more out of it. But also having the higher loyalty reduces foolery, which early on is really helpful. It's really, really helpful. So here we see this gel, you know, his nice little gel. we'll take him on a training. 377 we're on. We go through a cheeky cheeky training. 389. Okay, we got some points. Let's just use that little voucher there. There you go. 389 to 572. So that's the best part of what? 389, 572, 17. So 183 points. And that's just from the off. That's, 1 to 20. So that is... It's just very useful. Early on, loyalty, stopping the foolery will help. And just makes it a bit more consistent for the start. Also, loyalty's kind of a pain sometimes. You're not always going to get it to 100, so it's nice to have the additional consistency. All in all, hopefully that was helpful for you all. And don't forget that if you're after more info, again, we've still got all our beginner instances. There's going to be a playlist this time above my head, not just one video. We've put it in a playlist. We've used the noggin, so if there's anything in there that tickles your fancy, go and have a gander. And most importantly, enjoy. Have a good day. Thank you.